Welcome back, everyone. We are down in Florida. You guys might be able to guess where I'm at if you hear the sounds of boats tooting and other things like that in the background. You'll know. But I wanted to come on here. This is one of them days. You had a huge, huge day. So we're going to pull up the NASDAQ yesterday and we're going to pull out the 5 day. You can see we're having massive moves down, massive move up, massive move down. We're giving it all back. And this is one of the things I've been extremely worried about. And I'm going to pull up the charts. First, we'll start with Bitcoin and let's get into the dailies, see what's going on. If you're looking here, left shoulder, you got the head here, right shoulder, sell off. I mean, that's pretty straightforward head and shoulders right here in Bitcoin. We're down to a major line here, which is 101. I am watching all of these. I'm making up my mind what I'm going to do. You guys know, I am not looking to give back all the profits. Yesterday was a huge day up. Got all the money back from the first day that we lost a ton. Got it all back yesterday. So we bought right here. That run up was massive, made all that money back. And in the portfolio, the crypto was green overall after DCAing. And then boom, today. So gave that all, well, I'd say most of it back here. And what you're seeing right now is a good old fashioned bear run. We got support right here. This is what we got to hold. So I'll be blunt. 100,000 is the psychological level that we're trying to hold, as well as a key, just technical. You can see it. We've already tested. If we fail here, that's where it gets ugly. And that's the concern I have for everybody asking. I think 94,000 would be the next line in the sand for Bitcoin. We'll see. But the main problem is the government shutdown. And of course, we have the tariffs with the Supreme Court. We're going to see how that plays out. The government shutdown continues to be the longest in history. I think the markets, I've been telling everybody that the markets will punish. The markets will punish. I think there was hope. I know I had hope that by the end of this week, we could see some kind of breakthrough, agreement, something that they can get back to work, doing what they're supposed to do, have everything funded, just do what they're elected to do. But that did not happen yet. And now we're hearing that it could even be drug out even further. Like I said, the longer it goes, you want to get people upset. You're going to see the markets help do that. And since you had, look at this, that's 3.5% roughly in just a couple of days off the NASDAQ. We can go in and look at those charts. You're going to see what I'm talking about. We'll go QQQ on this thing. When I look at this chart, you can see the gaps up, huge gap. Now we're coming back down to where I think this zone in the 50 EMA is going to be your main support. We're probably going to hit that. The good news, this is a healthy pullback in terms of all the massive move higher as quickly as it did. So I don't think we have any serious issues unless we get we confirm underneath the 50. Now we possibly could confirm underneath the 50 if we get the government not opening up for another month. There's talk about possibly going into December. And I know a lot of you that have been watching, you guys are in some of these cryptos, Ethereum. You can see Ethereum now lower if we closed right now than it has been the last 2 days. So definitely giving a lot back. We're down to 3270 on Ethereum. Definitely, like I said, the line I have there, roughly 32.35. If we confirm under there, which we may today, we might push underneath there today, we could head all the way back down to the 2900s. So I am watching this to make any moves. I added a lot on, but I'm definitely not. I have no problem getting out as well. So I'm watching to see how things fall out in DC. We'll go from there. Go to XRP, check out XRP, see how that's doing. And boy, did we have a bounce yesterday. That was the best performer in my portfolio. And We broke the Bollinger Band at the bottom, started out right at it, pushed all the way up, all the way up to 13 to start today, 240. And now we're all the way down to 222 that quickly. Bears are definitely in control right now. You can see that it's been weeks and weeks and weeks since we were firmly above the 50 EMA. This is what I'm looking for. And I think we could still get that. And I know there's a lot of talk out there. I know, I think it was Tom Lee pulling up the 7,000 by year end for Ethereum. I don't personally see that, but if he's calling that out there and he's doubling down on that and letting people know he thinks 7,000 is doable. The good news, just to kind of say, could it happen? We've had months, and these are month candles right here. Well, let's get over to Ethereum. Check out the Ethereum here. So if you look at the month candles, you have a month candle here at 20. Basically, what are we going to go down here? We'll go right here, roughly 2,300. By the end of the month, it was up to 3,900. In other words, we can move $1,600. And if we go from 2,300 all the way up to 49, it more than doubled. That's what I'm talking about. So could it happen? It could, but you can see since this top on the monthly candles, absolutely coming down. Are we going to have the 13 act as support as it has in other months, or are we going to break through and continue down? I'll make it easy on you. I think we're going to continue down until the government opens. Now, we're going to be doing a lot of things. You guys, first link down below in the description, get over the Discord. That's the best thing you can do. What do you got? 50% off your first month right now. Code FALL50. Second link down below does get you over to the wait list for the new crypto course that'll be rolling out soon. And you can get a special code eventually once we email everybody. Join the wait list with this down here, but you'll see the first two links in the descriptions for them. Now, as we continue to watch, like I said, this is just, oh man, straight down ugliness. Wall Street drops as tech sell-off resumes, tariff. And you're going to hear a lot in the news about, oh, it's just horrible. But I'm going to remind you once again, as we get out here, look at this. RSI on the monthly candles, all the way up above 75. Last time we had that right here, I just kind of want you guys to see, because everybody's under this assumption that that being up at 75 to 80 on the RSI is okay. You're going to have people who made a ton of money in 6 months here. They're going to want to take the profits, especially when you see the selling. So this gives you an example here where we just ran. When it finally started selling, it did not stop. It did not stop until we got down to the 50 EMA. So we went from 400 all the way down to 250 something. Now we're all the way up here at 630 something, and we're only at 611. So that's barely any movement from the top. This was one back in 2022 that really dropped. And even for one that's not so bad, just a couple months, we went from 540 something all the way down to 400. Then that's what started this rally. So when you had all these people buying at 400, and now we're all the way up to 600 and something in what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months, you're up over 50% from 400 all the way up to 640. So you're up about, wow, 60% gain in 8 months. People are going to start taking profit. And that's what I'm concerned about. And so that's one of the major things I'm watching on the daily candles, though. You're already starting to see it. So the daily gives you a better idea if we're starting to begin. The longer ones, like the monthly, gives you an idea of how big it could be. And right now with the 5 about to cross the 13, no end in sight down in DC, a lot of issues. This could get worse. I'm not sure. But the big hope for me is that the 13 will hold. We're at 602 on the 50 EMA right here. The candles right now at 611. 602 is your line in the sand for the Qs. Go back to XRP. I want to take a look at this again. The big line in the sand for XRP, we're going to put it down there to roughly 218. That's the one we want to hold. And we'll go to Bitcoin. Bitcoin 100,000. easy. And you can see we're down 100,000 right now. And that's it, man. So we lose this and you get a confirmation, I believe we're going down to 93,000. And so I might have to make some adjustments here. The hope was that we were going to be able to continue up, but if you get a new lower low here, that normally leads to more selling. And unfortunately, I thought, well, right here, I thought that this would be the low, the 98K. I thought low was in. You can see 2 different candles, and then we'd be able to move up. So if I start to see new lower lows, like right here, that would probably be enough for me to have to de-risk a little bit, because technically, if you do, you most likely are going to go down to 93, and that would be your new buying opportunity. So for now, I'm positioned. I'm not adding more at this point. I want to see a reversal. I have, like I said, I had about 70% of the money back in, but for that being said, the dry powder, I want to wait for a reversal so I can see that the bears are no longer in control. I don't want to keep trying to buy a falling knife. I did it here and it was good timing, breaking the double Bollinger Band. Normally after a few candles, we'll start moving back up between the 13 and the 50 EMA. We did not do that yet. That was the first one, but unfortunately today with all the drama is not looking good. All right, folks, if you haven't done it, like I said, first link down below, get over to the Discord. Join today. Second link down below does get onto the wait list, or you can get a special code to make sure that you get the best price that we can find for those who are watching on YouTube. All right, that's it. I will see you in the Discord. Be sure to like and subscribe. Now let's get out there and make some money.